I'll even get the door. This is like part of the service that you get.
Yeah, full service.
Not every psychiatrist will open the door for you, but this one will. All right, so you know that I'm starting a talk show.
Yes.
Dr. Keith Ablow, a creative title for a show, you know, hosted
creative.
by Dr. Keith Ablow and me, right? And we're warming ourselves up.
Okay.
And since our time's limited, we're doing it, taking you to work.
Okay. Sounds
All right?
good. Yeah.
So we're off and running, but to get really off and running, tell me what's up.
Well, I have always had, everybody has issues, right? So, and I have lots of
Trust
them.
me.
Lots of them.
Trust me, we could pick up anybody on the street and we'd have issues. So
Right.
you can tell me yours. I've heard everything there is to hear.
So
Just about.
Just about?
Just about. So you can tell me anything.
Okay. Well, the one that I would like to talk to you about would be my body image and how it affects my self-image and my self-esteem and how I present myself to other people. When I go shopping, I am not comfortable. I get very discouraged because nothing fits, nothing looks good. I look at myself in the mirror and I look at pictures of myself and I'm like, I can't believe I'm that big.
What's your family been like?
My family is fabulous. My parents are divorced. They've been divorced since I'm 2.
Your dad leaves when you're 2. It's a big deal, by the way.
But I don't know any different.
Correct.
And I was so young. It was like, you know.
No, but that's the way you lived, right? You lived knowing that he had, well, you lived even when you're 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, knowing that he had left.
Right.
Right, and then did your mother remarry quickly?
Yeah,
someone you adored, or what happened?
My mom got remarried when I was in kindergarten, and then got divorced. She met somebody else, and they dated for a while, and he was okay in the beginning, and then I didn't like him at all.
Why?
They didn't have the same interests. They didn't, you know, it just from very different places. It was very quiet. My mom's more like me.
Why didn't you like him?
I didn't like him because I didn't like the way he treated my mom.
The plot thickens because at 2, your dad leaves. I mean, doesn't leave town, but he left the house.
Right.
Your mother married someone with whom she fought, and you lived through that. And that brings you to when you're now, what, 4, right? Or 5. And then for 9 years after that, or 8 or 9 years, 8 years, she's with a guy that you really can't warm up to. Say more about it. What do you...
I'm gonna cry. I don't want to cry.
It's all right. No, but it's, you know what? These are serious things. I mean,
it's always been me and my mom. Rock, you know, she was drove me everywhere, took me everywhere, and you know, she always been the most supportive.
Right.
Not that my dad wasn't, but I live with my mom. It was just me and my mom.
Right.
So she is my biggest support.
But as much as she had to put up with, you were just a little girl.
Right.
It's one thing to put up with it as an adult, but when you're 2 and 4 and 8 years old, it's hard. These men, right? I mean, and so if you took comfort from food, because it felt good and you could get it when you needed it, no surprise, right? And now the question is whether it's become bigger than just food. In other words, it's been forever, it sounds like a friend, like a source of some comfort.
I like it. I love food.
Right. True. And giving it up, or giving it up to the extent that you can have the other thing you want, which is the body you want, is going to require having something else, like you. You're going to have that self-esteem, right?
Yeah.
That has eluded you. And it's partly eluded you because it's very hard to grow it in the context of the amount of stress that you lived through. And I think that if we use that like a key to open a door, then we'd say the more we can learn about what you lived through and the way in which this food was like a friend to you, a comfort, a security blanket, and by the way, the more that the food, it literally can lift your mood. Like, you know, fatty acids in food can actually change your mood and keep you from depression to some extent. So you may have needed it. But if we can get to the bottom of that low mood, the low self-esteem, really think about what's it like to have as your sole support a woman who loves you but has bad judgment. We don't want to blame her. Like, she has a life story. She was trying her hardest. She did not wake up one morning and say, you know what I think I'll do? I think I'll take my daughter over some rough seas and see how she does. Yeah, right, exactly.
Throw her out there.
No, she was trying her hardest. She loves you.
I mean, I work for a modeling agency, so that doesn't really help the situation because of, you know, they all have the body image that is absolutely desired. And then they have the same problems, you know, internally that I do with I'm not good enough. So being around people that are size 2, I'm not good enough, really makes me feel.
What do you do at this modeling agency, by the way?
I'm a booker. Yeah. Well, they filmed a reality show at my office.
Oh yeah.
So it's like I'm used to this whole fake but real.
Right. Which is, by the, you know, I think it's really interesting.
It is.
It's kind of the way people live now.
And there's also like and also when you watch reality shows, you can tell what is really happening and what has been
doctored.
Or saying, go have this conversation with this person.
Right. No, I think it's like pervasive, by the way, because even I admired the camera person's shirt today. Nice shirt. It's distressed. It's made to look old.
Right.
So it's leached into every part of our culture that it's okay to pretend. Like jeans, right? These are new.
Right.
But I half believe they're old because they're made to look old, and you're supposed to believe it.
Right.
It's a lie. Right? It's a facade. What's not a facade, by the way, is what we just did.
No.
And what we just did is totally true because nobody invents her pain. People will lie about their successes. They will rarely lie about their pain, and when they do, they don't cry. Like if you invent a part of your story that's, oh, it's so sad what I went through, you can see through it. The truth that you told is obvious because you felt it. And I felt it. And people will feel it, you know, when they see this tape. So, you know, we should have a disclaimer on the roof of the cab that says, you know, the truth. Don't get in this cab if you're going to try to pretend. All right, well, I'm glad we got you to work. I'll get out with you and say goodbye.
Oh, we can't get out.
See, it's your worst nightmare. You're locked in a cab with a psychiatrist.